You may have seen the headline, Cincinnati home prices to drop 2.7% next year. Sounds scary, right? Well, hang on, because the real boots on the ground data tells a very different story. Let's separate headline hype from hard facts and give you a fresh mid-year update on the greater Cincinnati real estate market. On June 14th, 2025, the Cincinnati Enquirer ran an article citing Parcel Labs research predicting Cincinnati's median price will slide 2.7% over the next 12 months, shifting us into a buyer's market. Now they point to a 25% jump in inventory, a 4% dip in demand, and a 16% rise in price cuts. Sensational? Sure, but predictions aren't reality. Let's look at the actual MLS numbers everyone just closed last month. First, let's talk about sales volume. Single family and condo closings are up 2.1% year over year. Average and median home prices, not falling. Average prices rose 1.22% and median price is up 3.33% versus May of 2024. Inventory? Yes, active inventory jumped 21.8%, but we're still at only 1.16 months of supply, which is a far cry from a normalized balanced market, which is 5 to 6 months. More listings mean buyers finally have choices, yet demand remains strong enough to nudge prices maybe just a hair higher throughout the year. Well, let's talk about days on market, or the time that it takes for a house to be sold. And yes, the average days on market jumped to 23 from 16 days at the same time last year. But longer marketing times does not equal crashing prices. They simply reflect a market normalizing after the frenzy we saw from 2021 up until last year. Now, context matters here. Even with more listings, our supply is barely 1/5 of what is defined as a buyer's market. Now, we do expect supply to continue to build this year, but we still have a long way to go to get to that balanced market. Now, keep in mind, when you're talking about any sort of stat, you've got to look that the market is made up of multiple micro markets. Real estate is hyper local. So a prediction over one general area may not be what's happening in that specific market segment. For example, what's happening in Madeira or Hyde Park is going to be very different than what's happening in Westchester or Milford. There are all these different little micro markets that make up the market in general. So what does the outlook look like for the rest of 2025? Well, national analysts see flat to slightly down pricing in 2025, so that's nationally. Locally, here's what our numbers suggest. Balanced, but not bearish. Expect modest price appreciation for the rest of 2025, or even somewhat leveling off, as inventory keeps rising, but rates hold steady. Move-up opportunity. Sellers can finally buy and sell in the same market without waiving every contingency. First-time buyers, slightly longer days on market give you negotiation room, but be ready, competitively priced homes will still draw multiple offers. Investors, rental demand remains strong, and if we see an ease in interest rates, there could be a great opportunity for you in the second half of the year. So what does this all mean to you? If you're selling, price it right the first time. Buyers have options, but will still pay a premium for move-in ready homes. If you're buying, lock in before any rate drop sparks the next bidding war. Get out there and get active. And if you're just curious, remember, real estate is hyper local. Your zip code might be outperforming the metro average. Now, do you want a free micro report? Just simply reach out to us at hello@oylerhines.com and we'd be happy to send you a report specific to your micro market in greater Cincinnati. Headlines are built to grab eyeballs and data is built to guide decisions. Cincinnati is not crashing, it's correcting to a healthier, more balanced market. Smash that like button if you value facts over fear, and hit subscribe for monthly updates, and drop your questions in the comments below, and we'll be sure to see you on the next one.